So, happy post-Christmas. It's been a time and a season and a holiday. So, I wanted to go over things that I've noticed and learned over this last year. And yes, my holiday unicorn paper has been rockified, rock and rolled. It brings me joy. Unicorns are not rock and roll. So, and there are, in the last 10 minutes, this is what I've come up with. So, you have your family, you have your friends, and then you have work. So, we as a department call ours, well, some of us that have been together for years call ourselves a dysfunctional work family. And this year, seeing family has been very minimal. Friends has been absolutely none at all whatsoever. But the people that are part of our dysfunctional work family, we've become really close, and I like to think of some of us as friends. Some of them as the unwanted cousins that, yeah. So, that's where these pads came from, was from my Bosnian coworker. Her Christmas isn't until January 7th, but she gets to go meet her grandbaby, so her first grandchild, so she's excited about that. Next thing, you might be dining with drug dealers. It's not holiday, but it's a fact. Was not expecting that one. One of my coworkers, Corey and I both always just attributed like his, these movements to the nicotine because he smoked a lot. But now looking back, a lot of the stories, so he's going to prison, there's no doubt about that. Really nice guy. I feel really wrong saying that, but he's a really nice guy. But he was dealing meth, and I'm pretty sure he was using, but that wasn't in the news thing. So that, you just never know when you go out on, double dates that somebody might be a drug dealer. So there's that. Overtime is a double-edged sword. That just speaks for itself. It's been a rough year, and I love picking up like overtime, double shifts. Not after this year. So a lot of places and businesses and communities have been giving back to frontline workers and all that stuff, but when you go to the gas station, if you're not a nurse, you don't get that free coffee. Not a big deal, it's not, it's just, you have to show that you're a nurse, which I am not, so yeah, that hurt a little. Another thing, looking back on the year, the bomb squad does not like to waste time. They don't like jokes, and they don't like to they don't like to have their time wasted at all. So in the lab, there's a very, I want to say random, but it's not. There's a very limited use of a chemical that when its expiration date comes, it has to be removed and disposed of by either a bomb squad, or there are companies that deal with it, but they're way super expensive. So that was an experience. Exercise daily, diabetic or not. So I've been trying to do a 10-minute cardio workout by Pop Sugar, and it's not difficult, but it took me like 2 months just to get to the point where I could do the whole video without collapsing on the floor for a breather. So always remember to exercise. Enjoy the most simple of things in a day. Seems really basic, seems just, don't give it too much mind. But I know I talk about work a lot, but when you elbow boop the button to call the elevator and then it opens and no one's in there, it is so nice. No awkward eye glances, no small talk, no small talk. You don't have to like figure out what they're doing, where they're going, what their stress level is. Or when there's fried chicken available at the deli at the grocery store after 10 o'clock at night. Because I get rid of it like 2 hours before closing, so, you know. Don't trust the Roomba. So mine has been labeled Gaston. We were watching Beauty and the Beast when I bought it. Gaston likes to slurp up charging cords like spaghetti and just strip the plastic right off of it so you can't use it. So don't trust the fancy vacuums. Don't impulse buy. That is mostly for myself for late at night. I bought a lot on Etsy and eBay. That's where my Star Trek ornaments came from. And my post-socialist era campaign posters came from. Love the artwork. Don't know what they read, but the artwork is beautiful. They're still in Flushing's, New York, so they're still in Queens. But, you know, find music that makes you forget the world. Never really understood this. I love Linkin Park to death, dearly. I love them, but then, you know, Chester had to do that maneuver and that just killed the whole band. But their music speaks to me on one level, and then like certain songs bring back memories and moments in time when you listen to them and like learn how to appreciate them in a certain way. But there's certain music, I don't know how to explain it. So I was at work on a break, hating everybody, and then HGTV had this commercial about a show that was English that they were giving the rights to the States to premiere and show, whatever it's called, Escape to the Chateau. Two very quirky English people become expatriates. They move to France, they buy a chateau, which a lot of people are doing and not doing because price points, renovation, upkeep, super expensive, whatever. Anyway, so like 2-3 seasons in, they find records in the attic that are from the 20s, I want to say. Find out they're worth money, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're in Les France. So I was at work hiding in a corner one day and I started Googling French music from the 20s. And this woman's name kept showing up, called Edith, I want to say Piaf. It's Piaf? Edith Piaf. Her music is wonderful. She rolls her R's and does this like weird sound to it. I'm not a singer, so that does not translate well. But I'm not a big like French fan, although their food is good. But so I bought the album and I was listening to it on my not allowed AirPod at work, and listening to like French music from the 20s is just, it's feel good and it's fun and it's whimsical and just makes you feel better about the day. So till your boss sneaks up on you and scares the living daylights out of you and then you say bad words. So move furniture when cleaning, looking at the cat because fur accumulates everywhere. Listen to news highlights only and then no more. I like to listen to the BBC. They're cheeky. It takes some getting used to their humor and sense of comedy, but the BBC is not biased between red and blue and up and down and left and right, and so I listen to that when I get out of the shower so I know what's going on in the world, and then that's it, along with like, you know, civil unrest and Belarus and things like that. Know your neighbors. apparently the woman upstairs died a couple days ago, which I didn't know, but on Christmas Eve I was dropping off cookies with my neighbor, and her husband has a lot of health issues, so he's like recliner ridden, but she was super eager to come over and enjoy some Glühwein, German spiced Christmas wine. So we caught up on things like that, but I knocked on her door the day previous to this and she didn't answer, and I heard movement in there, but she saw my car in the garage, so she thought I was sick and just ignored me. So that's nice. Reasonable, but you know. But it is nice. We've been giving each other food and like notes of, yay, I appreciate you. So that's nice. Be thankful for what you have. My department adopts a family every year for Christmas, and I'm not used to doing that stuff, but this year the family that we adopted was a newly single mother with 2 sons. I want to say the oldest was 16 years old, with special needs, and then the youngest one was like 13. And they were asking for like socks and sweatpants and pots of pans, a microwave, a coffee maker, coffee, comic books, things like that. So my boss was really good at the guilt trip. Not everyone has jobs, not everyone gets overtime, some people have it harder than others. Karma's a thing, so, but yeah, be thankful for what you have. So, and I know watching the news, it just makes that feel all the more real. So, learn to say less. So I'm diabetic. I'm predisposed to a lot of things. So I contacted my provider saying like, hey, COVID is like, you know, just sweeping through like wildfire. Is there any way I can get a note to like be excused out of certain predicaments? I don't provide direct patient care, blah, 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 whatever. And she was totally on board for it. But when my coworkers found out about it, they were super mad. So there was a lot of like hate letters and very undignified things left in my lunch bag. So, you know, that you keep some things to yourself if you can. Learn other languages, because eventually we'll be able to travel. So right now I'm wanting to go to the Baltics. So like Bosnia, there's other necks in the neighborhood, Herzegovina, but that's where my one coworker is from. She always force feeds me, and the food is super delicious. Oh my glob, I love that stuff. So, but they only speak Serbian, Bosnian, Croatian, that, and like English. So you're supposed to learn about that. People poop in lobbies of hospitals just willy-nilly, and people also cut off their dreadlocks. And then the people that are supposed to, you know, deal with that just don't and just go home. So that's awesome. Also, trails of blood. Trails of blood. No one questions it. And then, you know, there's so many questions. So that's normal for me, among other things. Also the vaccine. I was not on the first roll call for that, which I totally get. Certain surgeons, certain nurses, and respiratory therapists were in on, like, for the first, like, week of that. So I finally got mine, which I'm excited, also nervous about. My arm hurts so bad. Like, today's day 3 and it's starting to feel better, but yeah, it hurts. But that's the only really side effect that I've had. So it's almost 15 minutes. Those are the recaps and highlights of the year with my rock and roll unicorn notepad. Yeah. So the new year has to be better. It has to get better. So happy Christmas and hopefully happy new year. See you next time.